Hip-hop
has done more damage to black and brown people than racism in the last 10 years.
So yeah, hip hop is super dope. It's helped to give the youth a whole new platform of stuff to think about, talk about, dress like, aspire to, you know, and relate to. So
it's like hip hop is bringing back the old style. Like yeah, the old style is the new trend now. Like the 19 where people wear baggy clothes. Yeah, it's it's becoming back, and I kind of like this style.
So I would say, if anything, hip-hop has had a positive influence on the youth. It's given youth, especially oppressed youth, poor people, minorities, immigrants, the opportunity to express themselves, to see people like them who have succeeded and who can express themselves and be successful in this society.
All right, do you feel like hip-hop is a bad influence on teens?
I would say yes, because the certain words that they put in nowadays. My siblings, I was very tough on them and this kid right here because of the words that were in hip hop, not because of the songs themselves, but the words that they start to add nowadays. And the videos are getting more and more explicit every year. So that's the only bad part. As far as the music is good, but the swearing and the music video is becoming too explicit.
It's also about character. It's about telling a story. It's about having swagger and having, you know, telling your art in like a unique way with persona. So I would never advocate for like a rapper to tone down their persona, because I think that's what makes them them.
If you had to give rappers advice, what would it be?
Keep doing what you're doing, but please stop promoting gun violence.
I'll tell them if they start getting their money, why do criminal stuff? Why go to jail when you have all that money where you could feed a family? Why do you choose to get in trouble and get locked up for 5 years when you could be free and enjoying life and all that money that you have?
Just maybe that'd be my one piece of advice, that like all rappers out there, you should make sure that you're always representing yourself 100% and know what you're about. Know that there's no gotcha question. If you know that you're true to your art and you're gonna represent yourself and what you believe in to the fullest, you should always be able to like answer any of those tough questions about like any of this BS, like, oh, how you're influencing the youth negatively, or oh, are you advocating for violence and murder, or all these things that interviewers and people in the public try to put on rappers. I think that's like racist and a bunch of garbage, and I think rappers could do a better job of speaking for themselves and speaking for their art and defending it, trying to explain how it's another form of expression in America.
But a lot of people, including yours truly, believe that music, the majority of it, that we consider hip-hop today, has run so far off the rails, to the point where many believe that it is destructive and creating destructive behavior.
Critics of hip-hop would say things like that. They're like, oh, hip rappers are influencing kids to join gangs and stuff. It's like, take a look at American culture. Like, it's larger than hip-hop, man. Like, hip-hop is just doing its part, expressing itself. Like, it's a certain group of people expressing themselves. Don't hate on a group of people talking about their experience. You should be mad at the experience. We should be upset as a country that there's groups of people who have to talk about making it out of terrible situations. Like, that's something that we should more be looking at. Like, never mind just because I talk about what set I'm with, or colors, or gang activity. I would put that similar to like a horror movie or things like that. It's like people, or mafia movies, right? I think it's people like romanticize crime and they like that life and stuff, but I think it's a long way away from actually telling a kid through a record to go pick up a gun or to go join a gang or to go do something to ruin their life. That's not what hip-hop is doing. I think hip-hop is trying to remind young, poor black kids and kids of color who have been oppressed that there's a route for them, and there's music for them, and there's art for them to express themselves and listen to, and it connects with their experience. So yeah, I think it's tough. It's not always, I don't think hip hop is there to try to get kids to go to college. Hip hop's not there to do either, right? It's not there to mess with your life make it worse or better. I think it's there to try to show you another way, show you that there's people like you that are out there doing it.